Hello, once again, Maize and Blue fans. Guess who's back? Now, as always, like, share, subscribe. Let's just get into it. Now, it's the off season. We've had the spring game and everything, and I'm just going to talk about what I saw, what I expect, and the changes that have come to the team. Now, Michigan has a new offensive coordinator, Josh Gaddis, and he's going to bring a true spread. And I have to, whenever I lose faith in Harbaugh, I have to give him this, and it makes me regain faith in him because he's willing to change. I didn't think he was going to do it, but he sees the writing on the wall. It's time to go with the spread and run it how you're supposed to run it, but still have your power I sets, because Gaddis says we will still have our I sets, and that's how you should be. You can run the spread, but don't leave out the I and the power football when you need it. So that's a good thing right there, and you can see it in the spring game. Crossing routes and slants, they will eat up any defense as long as you have a quarterback patient enough to wait on them. No matter if it's man. If it's man, you're going to get beat fast. It's not going to take that long. If it's zone, you basically just have to wait for your receivers to get past the defender, to get out of one zone, and there'll be a hole or a receiver sit down in the hole. But this is what we needed, and this is Harbaugh is taking steps to bring this team. Now, if you want to jump off board, that's fine, but Harbaugh has made changes to get this team where it needs to be and where we want it. And so I can't knock him for that. Like, I love to see this. Like, you got somebody that can run the offense as far as a play caller and everything and have us scoring points, which we should be able to do. And Don Brown has been mixing in zones. You have to get these. And the thing about zones, you can't. I've said this before. You can't just start running zones against Ohio State. That's the last game of the season. Even if you've been practicing some zone, you have to run it. You have to run it in game to know for the players to really click. So he has to, I'm glad that he's got it going right now, and I expect to see zones. I expect to see zones in game before we get to OSU. And just to be honest, as a team, we have to we have to build our team to beat them. That's what we have to do because they're the top dogs in the Big Ten. So what's the point of building your team to do this and that? No, just like in the pros, when a team is the champ of the conference or the division, you make your team to beat them. You don't make it to beat anybody else or this is what we're going to be and all that crap. No, we're going to build our team to beat at OSU. That's what it has to be. And I'm glad that Harbaugh has taken the steps and Don Brown has also taken the steps to get that done. Because we already know what we have on offense with DPJ, Tariq, Nico, Oliver Martin. The receivers just go on and on. There's the young kid. I'm not sure what his name is. I'm not going to slaughter his name, but he's a young wide receiver. He's really fast. He had a touchdown in the spring game. But the receivers are there. The only weakness on the offense, we have to watch and see what our offensive line is going to be against good teams, because we can manhandle bad teams, but we have to watch and see what it'll be against good teams. Those are when you play a good team. If you can run for 200 yards on a good team, a good defense, you got a good offensive line. Now, running back Chris Evans is still not on the team. I'm not sure if I don't think he'll be back this year, so we might as well wipe him off the slate until maybe next year, hopefully. But who knows? He's regressed as a player, so I can't put much stock in him or faith in him anyway. But we got Zach Charbonnet, he's been out. He's on campus, but he's out right now. I think he had a procedure. He should be ready to go by the time the season starts. But we got Christian Turner, we got True Wilson. True Wilson can be somewhat of he's a hard runner. And Christian Turner, from what I saw, some highlights of him, I like the way his body looks. He looks like he's been in the weight room and he's starting to look like a real running back. But if the passing game, this is a year where the passing game should be the strength of the offense. So if you can open up the pass to set up the run, I think that's what this year should be. With a senior quarterback, stud receivers, 3 stud receivers, a good tight end, as long as he holds on to the ball, catches it. But besides that, the passing game should be opening up for the run game this year. I'm not expecting to see us run to set up the pass this year. The passing game should be first, and then the running game. But we'll see how it goes. The defense, I got some worries about the defense. And because we lost a lot. Devin Bush, we lost the safety slips my mind, but Rashawn Gary, I don't put much faith in Rashawn Gary. We lost him, but he didn't play that much last year, and when he did, he wasn't. If you've watched my channel, you know how I feel about Rashawn. We lost Chase. Chase was big. But the defensive line has got some studs ready to go. So I'm not so much worried about the D-line itself. I'm more worried about Ambry Thomas stepping in as the other outside corner, because he hasn't really played that much to just step in and he's been on the team a long time, but he hasn't played that much. So I'm still worried about him being a full-time starter at that outside corner. I'm not sure. I know he's fast, but I'm not sure how good his cover skills are. We got Metellus coming back, and I'm looking for him to take another step forward. Hopefully, he played good for the most part last year. He had a good season, like he really did. Only time he might have got burnt or whatever was in that man coverage. If you're going to run man all the time and put your safeties on an island, they're going to get burnt when you're playing fast teams. So I don't put that on him too much. But Dax Hill should be starting at the other safety. He's not on campus yet, but from what it looks like, this dude is a stud and should be starting by the time our first game. From all I've heard, they're expecting him to start. But besides that, the Devin Bush, that really should have been number one. I don't know how I missed, but the linebackers. Devin Bush made up for a lot of things because he's just so fast. So when we're running the man defense, and most running backs and receivers, he's going to be able to cover for a good amount of time until we get a sack. Like when you got a dude that's fast, sideline to sideline, he's going to cover a lot of mistakes. So we'll see who steps in. I'm not exactly sure who will be the starter at middle. So we'll see. I'm not really sure who it will be right now. So I don't even want to throw any names out there, because honestly, I don't know, because that middle linebacker it's a big position. Now, if you got a slobber knocker in the middle that's got speed, that's got pretty good speed, doesn't even have to be as fast as Devin Bush, it can take your defense up a notch for real, especially in the run game. So we'll see. Honestly, I don't know, but we got Khaleke Hudson returning at the Viper. I'm looking for him to bounce back from last year. He got kicked out a couple games, and he just didn't get as much production as you would expect. I'm looking for him to bounce back this year, especially with Devin Bush out or gone into the pros. And shout out to Devin Bush, Pittsburgh. That's linebacker. That's linebacker heaven for in the pros. Besides like New England, but shout out to him and shout out to Rashawn on the Packers. But I'm looking for Khalid to really step up this year. I liked his passion and ferocity in the bowl game, blocking that punt and just that's what I like to see. And that passion and just not wanting to lose and not taking it, not taking a loss lying down. Like, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to try to make a play. We need more of that, especially on defense. Our defense gets a lot of plays just from scheme. So you got a lot of scheme. Don Brown just called a good blitz and things like that. But as far as turnovers and things like that, we don't rank high. So we need a lot of that passion to make a play. I'm going to get a fumble. I'm going to get a strip sack. I'm going to get a turnover. I'm going to get the ball back. That's the one thing I can say out of our defense from being ranked high off stats. But we usually don't have a lot of turnovers. And that's one thing that I would like to see the defense just improve on is getting the ball back. Get the ball back for the offense. Not just on 3 and outs, but get it out on a fumble, strip fumbles. Get it out on picks, tip passes, and don't just get it. Take it to the house. Not just against bad teams. Get some against good teams. But that's just the difference, and we won't know until the games start. You don't know how good a defense is or anything until the games start. But that's all I pretty much got for today. People don't know if Shay's gonna be the starter. Shay's gonna start unless he gets hurt. I like what I see out of Dylan and Joe. Joe is looking like a man. Are we sure he's 19? Dude looks like a grown man out there. Wow. I just with Joe, I hope he stays the course, because by the time he's a junior, by the time he gets to start, if he just stays the course, even if his passing hasn't improved, him running the ball in the scheme of just having him as a threat, he's going to be hard to bring down. He is going to be, that dude is big. He reminds me of Vince Young when he was at Texas. His junior year and his senior year. We know what happened. We know what happened when Vince came back. They went undefeated, beat one of the best college teams in history in USC. He basically beat him by himself. He had a ton of talent on his defense to help him, but dude, you couldn't stop him. And Joe looks like that. And he can move like that. So hopefully that's what we'll get out of Joe as long as he stays the course and stays. And I'm not forgetting about Dylan. Dylan looks good running that option. His running and vision when he runs, he knows the holes to hit and when to take it and when to pitch it. Like he really knows. He runs the option very well. Very well. I just hope Shay starts running it like him. I'm not sure if it was by play call or design that Shay wasn't keeping the ball on a lot of those options last year, because he left a lot of yards on the field, not just handing it off when the outside was just open. But I'm gonna start making more videos again, get the content back rolling and everything, and get the page back pushing, because I know everybody wants to talk Michigan and hear about Michigan. So, but as always, like, share, subscribe, and go Blue.